Knock, and the door shall be opened to you. Good morning, my name is Nicholas Parent. It's a pleasure to meet with you in this moment together, heart to heart, mind to mind, eyes and eyes, and all that we are. Today's message that I want to bring with you is, in order to be able to invite new realities or new experiences in, we have to knock in order for the door to be open. What I've been observing over many years, but is really strong at the moment, is the hopeless repeating cycles that the majority of people seem to be caught in. Every day is just a copy, paste, repeat from the day before. Same state of being, same thinking, same actions, same stories, same narratives, same people, same circumstances, same behaviors, same choices, same actions. And yet, on some level, when I've had conversations with people, they somehow think that their life is going to be different. Isn't that the definition of insanity? That's what I've been pondering on over the last week or so. I've been asking myself the question, well, what does it really take to knock for that door to open? This is what I've discovered in a recent intuitive journaling session where I was connecting to cosmic consciousness, emptying my mind out and allowing the present moment to reveal something that I don't already know. A very useful skill to learn. So the cosmic intelligence shared with me and said, well, there are many contributing factors that facilitate change. These are the underlying internal factors that are pivotal in order for change to unfold. Number one is thinking, how you think, what thoughts come into your mind. Remembering that the thoughts that you think are not who you truly are. They are reality templates. They are like the blueprint, what an architect would design. Then we have your expectations. What do you believe to be possible? What are you expecting to happen? Usually these are connected to your thinking. They're usually connected to your family, ancestral, societal conditioning and the times that you were born in, of what does the collective believe to be possible, not possible. The third is your energy. What sort of state are you in? Or in today's terms, what sort of vibe do you have? And that's both known and unknown. There's many different contributing factors that contribute to your vibe. But essentially, it's your state of being that is either attracting or repelling what is or isn't happening in your life. So for example, if you're putting out a state of being of, I don't deserve, you will attract people that will let you know that you don't deserve. And it would be absolute insanity to be expecting anyone to show up in your life who would say the contrary. The fourth element is your attitude or moods, which is really quite crucial. So this is like whatever is happening in your life, what sort of stories do you create around it? And what's your attitude around what unfolds in your life? Some people have the Eeyore syndrome, which is woe is me, everything's bad, nothing goes my way. Other people might have the Peter Pan attitude, which is don't worry about it, just bounce, twist, swirl, maneuver. Don't take it too personally. Maneuver with the times, learn from what's there. And there's a gazillion other moods and attitudes that you could have. Then there's the ability for you to use your free will and make conscious choices in the moment, which most people, unfortunately, epically fail at, because the majority of humans are enslaved by their habits. They don't actually have free will. They're just repeating the same thing over and over. Their habits, their impulses that come through the 5 human senses, unacknowledged desires that they're not aware of, the programming of what society is trying to tell you what you should want, think, feel, and do. And so this is a huge one. If you really want freedom, you've got to master that. There is no way around it. The final element is action. Where do you put your energy? And what energy are you putting into your action? And what is your motivation that is actually infused in your action? Are you doing it from loving service? Is it a pleasure? Is it a grudge? Is it, oh, I'll do it only if I have to? Is it, I'll do it, but if I don't have to do it and I can get away with it, I won't? all those little tricky little things that go on upstairs in the mind. We really do need to bring awareness to what's going on. So the thing is, it's like when you do knock, the door is always answered, but sometimes people just don't know how to receive what is actually being given. I'll give an example. Yesterday, I met someone who killed another human being earlier this year. Because he told me, he said, you wouldn't believe the year I've had. And I said, well, I've heard some pretty hectic stuff. Give it to me. Well, I did give it to him. I did say, well, that is an intense experience. And I said, well, what was it like for you having killed another human being? It wasn't intentional. He didn't want to murder the person. It was an accident. But even though it was an accident, he said it's been horrific. He hasn't been able to sleep. His mind has been out of control. And so I said to him, unless you do something about this, and there's a few different options here, you're just going to perpetuate the suffering and misery that you're in. And so I recommended, I said, well, why don't you come along to my Unshakable Inner Radiance class? We do meditation and mindfulness. I'll teach you the skills that you need to be able to utilize your inner abilities in a powerful, effective way to be able to transition out of this shithole that you're in. And it was interesting because he said it was like a like a kind of a polite yes, but there was also resistance there. And I think this is really common for most people. They're in the situation that they're in, but there is often a collapse or a wallowing or an apathy or a lack of desire to actually make it any different. But yet people sort of somehow fantasize that it's somehow going to be different, which is insanity, coming back to that point that I shared at the beginning. So really, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm trying to share with you today is that you can change your life. You do need support. You do need to know the right skills and abilities on how to do that. This is something that I'm passionate about. This is something that I have committed my life to over the last 20 years, and I'm continuing to dedicate my life. I have a practical skills development training that is happening already. We're doing the basic level of classes now. You'll get value from that. I'm going to be doing a much more comprehensive 3 months training very, very soon. If you want your life to be better, you've got to do something about it. These techniques and these practices are ancient proven techniques that work. If you apply them correctly, they work. Your life will be better. I'm passionate to be accountable, to support you to reach your edge of growth, expand your capacity, increase your capabilities, to become a good, solid human being that can actually add value in this world and bring something useful to not only yourself, but to others. So knock on that door, allow the answer to come in, come and join me for Inner Radiance, Unshakable Inner Radiance classes. It'll be fun, it'll be enlivening, it'll be soul nourishing. You will feel uplifted, naturally radiant. You will feel how your inner cup is filled and how this premise of how your inner world creates your outer world is actually true. See you on the other side.